So, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And guys, um, bali, today is Thursday night guys. Medyo tahimik ngayon. Medyo okay ngayon, hindi tayo ninervyos. Hello sa viewers natin dyan, the first viewer natin, hello. So update po tayo is still magulo pa rin sa South. Marami pa rin nare-rescue ng mga body, yung sinunog na kibbutzim, mga victims, marami pa rin guys. Nakakalungkot talaga, sobra. As in sobra. Kaya nakakalungkot and I hope tapos na ito. So yung alarm dito sa north kahapon is false alarm lang siya. And syempre kinabahan tayo guys. Kasi hindi naman natin first time pero matagal na yung noon nakaramdam tayo ng ganun ulit. Matagal na, I think 2014, 2013, something like that. Kaya nervous tayo. Nangatog na tayo eh. Gusto ko tumawag yung anak ni Lola. Ano talaga tayo, ninervyos. So, yan. Merong every day siyang may nagpapatrol na jet. Palagay ko okay lang naman yun. Para safe tayo, para hindi tayo mag-worry at hindi maulit yung nangyari nung Sabado. Kaya, yan guys. Habang nagla-live tayo, mag-ano tayo ng gamot ng ating pekas. Very light lang po yung nilalagay natin. So yung thumbnail ko pala, yung mga parang star, ano yun guys, mga rockets, yun na pinapalipad ng mga terrorist. Ganyan po dito, ganyan po doon sa South. Maraming mga rocket. Akala mo star, akala mo fireworks. Pero mga rocket yun. Ganyan po yung nararanasan yung mga normal na Israeli. O, diba? Kayo ang lumugar sa kanila kung gaano sila karist. Pero ang gusto lang naman din nila is mabuhay na normal na katulad natin. Hindi ko alam kung bakit kailan. So, ganun lang. Hello sa dalawang viewers natin dyan. Thank you. Mag-comment po kayo para balikan ko po kayo kung sino naman kayo dyan. Kung sino pong nandyan. Kasi bakit hindi ako nakakabasa ng comment? Are visible. Ayan. Welcome to my life. Ayan. So, thank you guys. Nagbabalik na po tayo dito sa YouTube channel natin. So, every night, nagla-live na ako ng 1 hour, at least 1 hour sa ganitong oras para kapag-update tayo sa nangyayari sa Israel. So, kung meron pong nanonood dyan, iwasan na lang po natin ng mag-share ng mga fake news kasi maraming fake news, maraming nagbabalita na binabaliktad. So, huwag po tayong basta-basta naniniwala. So far so good, yung mga ano dito, safe naman po kami. Normal lang po ang buhay, ganyan talaga.
24 News political correspondent is joining us from there. Batya, thank you very much for joining us. So before you brief us on the latest, Batya, short minutes ago,
Salamat sa nag-like.
Commander of Zaka, Yossi Landau, he was telling us that they're using the same equipment which they're running out of to collect the bodies of terrorists. The same equipment that they're using to collect the bodies of slain Israelis. And I want to ask you about a scene that even in those surreal times is something else really. Bio-Nazi Hamas terrorists receiving medical treatment in Israeli hospitals right next to people they slaughtered and somehow managed to survive.
Pa rin sila nauubos 6 days na.
Right, and it was a question that was on my mind as well, not just as a journalist, but as an Israeli. Obviously, a very upsetting situation to be in, knowing that there was a massacre, a literal butchering of young people, of children, of women, of elderly, of men, of soldiers. Because you know that, in usual times, Israel does quote unquote the correct thing and actually follows by a lot of the laws that the hospitals and the doctors have to take the Hippocratic oath to be able to say, look, anyone that comes in, we are seeing a huge outcry at the moment within the Israeli public. Doesn't matter what their political ideologies are, that this is actually unacceptable. We're not talking about a terrorist that was perhaps brainwashed in the West Bank, even one that possibly infiltrated through the borders because or infiltrated would be the wrong word if they had an actual legal work permit in Israel. But the situation is that, and so I did speak to quite a few nurses earlier in the day and asked them that question bluntly. Are the terrorists being treated at this hospital? The answer was absolutely not, because they were absolutely nervous about the safety and the security of their staff here. Given the fact that Ashkelon is already under rocket fire to begin with, they did not want more protests coming to the hospital as well, and so very much made clear that there are absolutely zero terrorists being treated at this hospital. When I asked where they were perhaps being treated, I was told they are not allowed to answer that question. But you're completely right. It's a very sensitive topic and definitely one that a lot of Israelis want some answers to, in particular at a time when there's more questions than there is undoubtedly answers.
Yeah, with family members there by, sitting at the bedside of their loved ones fighting for their lives. They're obviously a tense situation. Is perhaps an understatement. Those terrorists, according to my understanding, been transferred to a special facility to provide them medical care, but separately from their victims. I-24 News political correspondent Batya Leventhal, thank you so very much for this. And Lieutenant Colonel Kirsch, you're still with us here in studio, hearing with us the testimonies from the ground, and then you wanted to comment on the hostage situation. Is it at the epicenter of Israel's strategy, or as the official Israeli stance it is being delivered now, we'll deal with it after the war ends? Perhaps this is a tactic?
I think it is really one of the main features of Israel's policy now is how to deal simultaneously with getting rid of Hamas, destroying the Hamas, removing any semblance of their presence in the Gaza Strip, but at the same time trying to get as quickly as possible to the victims, to the hostages. I would suggest that there are many other ways than to go about really getting to the hearts of Hamas, if they have any hearts, and that is really through the international community. I would suggest that the argument of Baskin is not true, that the international community does have a very large place in this discussion. What Hamas has seen over the last 30 years, and specifically over the last 20 years while they've been in charge, is that it doesn't matter what atrocities.
So, hello po sa isang viewers natin dyan. Thank you sa pagpunta sa ating live. Lawak ng ano.
Hamas needs to immediately release all of the hostages, unquestionably and unequivocally. before they know they're about to die.
Yeah, and to that point exactly, Colonel Hirsch, Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, here in Israel today, and said at the opening of the broadcast, it was a short visit, but it contained everything. With the message being as clear-cut as it could possibly be, that it was both empowering and relieving, and without a glimpse of patronizing, because what Blinken was saying is Israel, Israelis, we know you can defend yourself. We know you're strong. We know you can do it on your own. But as long as America exists, you don't have to, because we're here. We're not going anywhere. We want to stay close.
People in Israel have long and rightly prided themselves on their self-reliance, on their ability to defend themselves, even when the odds are stacked against them. The message that I bring to Israel is this: you may be strong enough on your own to defend yourself, but as long as America exists, you will never ever have to. We will always be there by your side. As Israel's defense needs evolve, we will work with Congress to make sure that they're met. And I can tell you, there is overwhelming bipartisan support in Congress for Israel's security.
We're going to turn now to New York. Our 24 News senior U.S. correspondent Mike Levitan is joining us. Mike, after the historic Biden speech, enters Blinken, deep impressions here in Israel, and he's on the go in the Middle East. Lloyd Austin, Secretary of Defense, is also on his way to Israel. Now, wrap it up for us.
Well, this is part of a larger regional effort here from the Americans to try to make sure, A, that they make clear that they have Israel's back in every way, shape, and form. This has really been an extraordinary outpouring from the Biden administration in terms of its level and the depth of its support of Israel over the last few days. The question long term as the war against Hamas becomes protracted is if we'll see any cracks in the armor. But that's for the longer term discussion. Blinken will go on to other countries now, travel to Jordan to meet with King Abdullah and Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Authority president, off to other regional countries as well, including the UAE and Qatar, making sure that the message is getting through to those leaders that it needs to get through to, whether it's rounding up support or sending messages that those who should stay out of the situation do in fact stay out and only play a productive role here. So this trip for Blinken, even though it's quite a landmark trip in terms of its content, is still just beginning here as part of a broader effort to make sure this doesn't spill over into the broader Middle East.
And meanwhile, Mike, former/hopeful U.S. President Donald Trump, the one who got a community name after him up north here, with what he seems to think was a stand-up comedy act.
The signs for Vermont Trump might be coming down when this war is over. Trump, listen, you can't question his pro-Israel bona fides in terms of the policies that he implemented while he was president, but some of the rhetoric, especially post-presidency, is quite bizarre. He had the speech within the last hours or so in which he was quite critical of Israeli leaders, including Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant, the defense minister, at quite a perilous time. And he also had some comments about the terrorist group up in Lebanon, Hezbollah. Let's give a listen here to former U.S. President Donald Trump.
I'll never forget that Bibi Netanyahu let us know, and that was a very terrible thing. I say that. And so when I see sometimes the intelligence, you talk about the intelligence, and you talk about some of the things that went wrong over the last week, they've got to straighten it out because they're fighting potentially a very big force. They're fighting potentially Iran. 2 nights ago, I read all the Biden security people. Can you imagine? National defense people. And they said, gee, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack from the north because that's the most vulnerable spot. I said, wait a minute. You know, Hezbollah's very smart. They're all very smart. The press doesn't like when they say it.
Well, Mike, it seems that both you and I are speechless. Yeah. But someone who's not speechless? Yeah. Please, Mike, keep on going.
Yeah, someone who's not speechless. We spoke a little while ago with U.S. Senator Marco Rubio out of Florida, a member of the Senate Foreign
na ako. Si Delikado sa labas. No, baba na. Baba! Baba na. Anong hindi? Hindi ka pwede sa loob. Baba na. Baba. Hindi. Baba, hindi. Baba na. Sige na. Huwag kang mag-inarte. Baba na. Uy. Ayaw. Ba't mo sinuswerte? Sige na. Baba na.
With those obstacles in
Sige
place,
na.
how quickly do you see, substantive aid being forwarded to Israel coming out of the U.S.
Sige
Congress?
na.
Well, first let me
Baba
say
na.
assistance and cooperation, defense
No.
cooperation, and work with Israel is very different for a number of reasons. First of all, we don't start out at a baseline at zero. In 2021, I passed a law as part of the Defense Authorization Act that basically authorizes already, it's codified in our law already, at least $3.2 billion a year of defense cooperation with Israel. So that's already law. That's already there. It's already ongoing. In many cases, the munitions that Israel will need for resupply, they're already in pipeline. They're already ordered. What we can do is help get the contractors to expedite delivery of some of these. We also have pre-positioned material inside of Israel. It's been publicly reported. And it's there for purposes of not just the Israel movement, but if we ever got to the regional conflict, we certainly have the delivery of supply. So there's already a baseline law for this. As this continues, and look, I believe once needs to be wiped out. But it's not going to be easy. Urban warfare, going in on land, in a nation that frankly is going to rely on reservists. Many of whom just got off the flight 48 hours ago, flying in from Miami, right? Flying in, the planes were full of reservists supporting the team. You know, it's like urban warfare is difficult. When you reach your tunnel systems and are willing to conduct long-term insurgency type campaigns. And so as that develops, the material needs that Israel may need to supply are much different than what's anticipated. So I think you'll find almost what you need in Washington, and they'll have the mechanism to deliver it. I think what's important is to understand that baseline's already there, the authorities are already there, and at some point, if more is needed, and it probably will be, we'll need to know exactly what that is, and I don't think there'll be any impediments to getting it done. And I hope that it can be kept separate from these other debates. I've been a supporter of helping Ukraine, but I don't think the two should be mixed because they're two very different cases.
I need to ask you if you were remiss about the former President Donald Trump is pro-Israel bona fides in terms of policy, unquestionable, but some disturbing comments coming out of him in a speech in recent hours in which he criticized Prime Minister Netanyahu, called Defense Minister Yoav Gallant a jerk, called Hezbollah smart, really comments that kind of seemed a bit off the wall looking at it from an Israeli perspective. Do you have any thoughts on those comments from former President Trump?
Well, look, I didn't hear the comments. I don't know the context that they were said, so I'm just going to respond the way you described it. I don't think any of that is surprising, and I'd like to hear an explanation behind it, because I don't think in a moment like this it's certainly helpful, and it's also not consistent with the positions that the Trump administration took. I mean, I remain convinced, and I don't want to delve too much into our domestic politics on this, but I remain convinced that Donald Trump were president today, some of these attacks, some of these conflicts we're seeing around the world would not have happened, because some of these entities would have thought twice before moving forward in that regard. That said, I'm surprised to hear that reported. I certainly don't think there's any, on the contrary, that Donald Trump is a sympathizer or a supporter of Hezbollah, and I think that's belong and very supportive of Israel, irrespective of its leader or anything its democratic process was. So, but I don't think comments like that are helpful. In fact, that's the thing which they were made, and I don't know how we'll be interpreting that on this, but I certainly agree.
In terms of the Congress itself, this seems to be one of the very few issues we've seen in the last several years now that have unified the body in such a way. I mean, even, Ukraine, there is a division now in terms of how far aid should go carrying forward. How long do you think this can last? I mean, this military operation is not going to be a short one. It's not a matter of days and probably not a matter of weeks either. Do you see something similar coming down the road if this is an extended operation, or do you see Congress holding firm here in its support of Israel in the long term?
Well, despite some disturbing images of people in the street supporting Hamas in the aftermath of all of this, and some ridiculous stuff coming out of academia, where we have a lot of more confused leaders of higher education, and that's a separate problem for Americans to confront. I think by and large, most Americans and most members of Congress overwhelmingly are going to be against anybody who decides they're going to go and massacre elderly women, teenage girls and little babies. And so I'm glad to see that that level of moral clarity still exists in our politics. The challenge is going to be the following, and that is this is not one of these 72-hour campaigns or 2-week deals. This is going to be messy. It's a protracted situation. It's going to be, these guys are deeply entrenched inside of Gaza, and it's not going to be easy to degrade them to an acceptable level. And so the real challenge is not today. The real challenge is 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks from now, because the way it is played out in the story is Israel is attacked. Everyone rallies to Israel's side. Israel does what it needs to do. And then all of a sudden, starting in Western Europe and then spreading even here in the United States, you start hearing calls of, okay, you've done enough. It's time to stop. And that's where I think the real challenge is going to come. I think we need to understand something very clear. If Hamas is not eliminated, if Hamas is not substantially degraded, they will come back and they will do this again, and they will do it worse. And other groups will look at this as an example of what they need, and they will do the same. We need to understand that if we don't stop this now, it won't be, 1,000, 1,200 people. It could be thousands upon thousands of people that are murdered because they happen to be Jews living in Israel and are hated by these people. So if this isn't stopped now, it's going to lead to more loss of life, more bloodshed. If we've learned anything from history, is that if you don't confront and defeat evil, evil will grow, evil will spread, and evil will come from you.
Mike Wagenheim, thank you very much for this interview with Marco Rubio. Thank you. Well, we are reporting now an unfortunate, upsetting update now, but this is the reality we live in. At the moment, the IDF is clearing for publication that a soldier was killed yesterday in a Hezbollah anti-tank guided missile attack on the Lebanese border with Israel. We're talking about Matanya Elster, Staff Sergeant and Staff Sergeant to the Reserves, 22-year-old soldier in a battalion of the Carmeli Brigade, was killed yesterday in this attack on the Lebanese border. All right, and still, as we speak, there are those who are busy not justifying, excuse me, my brother, supporting, praising, hailing Hamas attacks. And I'm not talking about Palestinians in the Gaza Strip or the West Bank, but Westerners, self-proclaimed enlightened liberals, so to speak. Student group is calling for U.S. colleges to plan anti-Israel Day of Resistance tomorrow. We want to turn out to founder of Equal Protection Project, Professor William Jacobson, Professor of Law and Director of the Securities Law Clinic from Cornell University, joining us from Rhode Island. Professor Jacobson, thank you so very much for speaking to us tonight. Well, with a lack of a better phrasing, Professor, what?
Well, the issue is, there's a student for justice in Palestine, which of course is not for justice. The issue is that there are a small but vocal group of people on U.S. campuses who support Hamas, and that's what it is. But I think the events that have happened are so horrific, so unbearable, that the tide is turning on campuses. Cornell University, where I teach, last night, 750 students showed up for a pro-Israel rally. That's unheard of. I've been working there for 15 years. I've never seen anything like that. So it is true that there are some students who support what Hamas did, but I think you will find that this will be a turning point on U.S. campuses.
But perhaps this is a good opportunity to try and understand, Professor, how profound the pro-Palestinian movement, or movements plural, become. Not talking fringe, right? Ivy League universities, etc., intertwined with a liberal agenda almost completely, as if it all comes in a bundle. So try and explain what's been unfolding on campuses in recent years.
You're right. What we're seeing now is essentially the fringe coming out. But the bigger problem and the longer-term problem is there has been for multiple decades, both through the boycott movement and through left-wing academia and left-wing professors who are anti-Zionist, there has been a gross demonization of Israel. There has been this notion perpetrated that the Jews are illegal occupiers, not just of certain portions of the land, but of the entirety of it. And so that it is wrapped into the progressive ideology that the world is separated into oppressors and oppressed. The oppressors are white. They put Jews, which of course is ridiculous, into the white category, and therefore they view Israel as a white colonial oppressor. And from that, they demonize Israel with the fake and false accusations of apartheid and things like that. So that is a problem. And you have seen a shift in public sympathies, particularly in the Democrat Party, but we've seen that. But what's just happened is completely out of bounds. I mean, there are very few, other than the fringe, defending what Hamas did. But that is a longer-term problem for Israel with U.S. public opinion.
But at this point in time, Professor, as you are suggesting that we might see a change, or at least the beginning of, what should universities be doing?
Well, I think universities should probably get out of the way. Not everybody agrees with me on that, but I'm not really a fan of universities taking official positions on things, because if they take official position that you like today, tomorrow they might take an official position that you don't like. So I would rather let the students take the lead rather than the administration. And I think in many campuses, not all, but in many, the students will favor Israel. Now, there certainly are situations, and some of these pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel students cross boundaries. They disrupt events. They intimidate people. That's crossing a boundary. That's not, free speech. They're entitled to their opinion, but they're not entitled to disrupt a pro-Israel event. So administrations do have a role, which is to make sure that the sort of intimidation and violence that these people advocate does not actually come into being. So to preserve campus peace. And I would let the pro-Israel students, who are the majority, because most students, I think, in the U.S. naturally sympathize with Israel. They understand that a lot of these students on the radical fringe are not only anti-Israel, they're anti-American. And what you will find on many campuses that students are beginning to wake up to that. So I want the administration to stay out of the way, but maintain the equivalent of law and order. So these few but hyper-aggressive anti-Israel students don't get out of hand.
Well, I do hope, Professor William Jacobson, that by the end of it all, it will no longer be framed as pro or anti-Israel, but pro or anti-humanity. This is the battle that is currently being fought, and if it wasn't clear until now, let's do hope it will get clear. Professor William Jacobson, Professor of Law and Director of the Securities Law Clinic at Cornell University. Thank you so very much for your time, Professor. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Great, thanks for having me on.
All right, we are back in studio with Colonel Hirsch, Lieutenant Colonel Hirsch, and joining us also at 24 News as Senior Diplomatic Correspondent Owen Alterman. Gentlemen, you've been listening to this conversation. When it comes to public opinion in the U.S., there might be a solid momentum here, even though there are still challenges, as we've been hearing. But elsewhere in the world, we're seeing some surprising trends, I would dare to say, Owen.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Israel become a kind of cause celeb across the Western world, a kind of Ukraine 2.0. And listen, that's something we didn't know about 2023.
Right.
This thing we didn't know about 2023 a week ago. That Israel was going to be a cause celeb, even if it's for a fleeting moment. We can't predict the future. Ellie, I have a thing for lit up buildings. I've spoken on a broadcast before about how moving it was to see the Arch of Titus in Rome lit up with the Israeli flag. The Arch of Titus, of course, built to celebrate the conquest of Jerusalem by the Roman Empire and the destruction of the Second Temple, the carting away of the menorah. By the way, you can see that etched in, lit up with the Israeli flag. It's an incredibly poignant scene. But another fascinating one tonight, in Johannesburg, South Africa. Johannesburg, South Africa, the Pont City, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, apartment building, skyscraper, tall skyscraper lit up in the Israeli flag. This is a man biting a dog. This is a country that has not necessarily been known for its support for Israel, certainly from its government, by its ruling party. Our Baki Leventhal, of course, a native of South Africa, adds that it is towards the center of Johannesburg, so an area that is not demographically Jewish or white, let's say, but again, although pointing in part because that is the area with the base of the ANC ruling party, or even even more extreme EFF, Economic Freedom Party's party that's pro-Putin, virulently anti-West, anti-Israel. I don't know if the people living in the building support those parties, but in any event, man fighting a dog in a place you would not expect to see a tower lit up with the Israeli flag. As far as I know, by the way, the South African government has not yet issued a condemnation for what is happening. Again, it's sadly maybe not a surprise, but the fact of the building being lit up there is something that's very interesting.
This grassroots support is not less, if not more important sometimes.
Yeah, so they're not clear from the images who's responsible for lighting it up, but a significant, at least civil.
And speaking of global support, then Colonel Hirsch, another moving speech by an important global leader today, German Chancellor Wolf Scholz, today, and he pointed out the deafening silence that was heard and not heard in Ramallah, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Shortly after he did speak, maybe the silence was better.
It's incredible to still hear that people are surprised by the silence of Mahmoud Abbas, but he wasn't silent. He wasn't silent at all. He congratulated the actions of Hamas in his silence, in his distancing himself from issuing a clear condemnation of the murder of women, children, babies. If you can't condemn those acts, then you support them. That has to be the very, very clear equation that we're drawing here. And Mahmoud Abbas has a problem, because between him and Hamas, as there is between Israel and America, so it said, there's no daylight.
Yeah.
The difference between Hamas and Mahmoud Abbas is who's going to be in charge of the money, who's going to be in charge of the Palestinian Authority. Ideologically, there's no difference whatsoever. Mahmoud Abbas also supports the destruction of Israel, and also supports the murder of Jews. Just one thing that you should take into account, Gershon Baskin mentioned it beforehand. Some of the hostages taken were taken by the Palestinian Front for the Liberation of Palestine, the PFLP. That is a member organization of the PLO. The PLO is headed by Mahmoud Abbas. This is his organizations that he supports, that he funds, participating in the murder and the massacre of Jews and the kidnapping of others, alongside the PFLP. And whilst we're focusing on Hamas, alongside them, we're also members of Fatah, Mahmoud Abbas's own party. Tomorrow,
Fatah participated in the
attack. They put up videos of the kidnapping that they participated in. If you look on the website of Palestinian Media Watch, follow their Twitter account, there are those videos that they put up. I used to work for Palestinian Media Watch, and you can see those videos put up, and you can see the information and the calls that have been coming out from Fatah to support Hamas in Gaza.
I have to dissent.
I could show you the video.
But I'm not clear, but I have to leave the point of Mahmoud Abbas. Listen, I don't want to give anybody a pass, okay, on condemning what happened and being extremely clear with moral clarity that Secretary Blinken talked about. But Mahmoud Abbas is in an impossibly difficult position. He's the most taken for granted human being in the Middle East. Security cooperation between the Palestinian Authority and Israel is fundamental to keeping calm in the West Bank. Obviously, there are many, many problems with his speeches, with his rhetoric, with his education systems, and I don't know what it's in his heart. All I'm saying
Denies the Holocaust.
Just 2 weeks ago, we are well aware.
Just 2 weeks ago, he was blaming the Jews for their own murder by the Nazis because of their position in usury and lending money. This is no different from Hamas. This is the same. It's not Richard. There is a it's hatred. It allows people to come across the border and slaughter babies, as we heard from the Zaka representative, to take pregnant women and murder their babies, tie children up in front of their parents. This is the incitement that Mahmoud Abbas and his Fatah party and the Palestinian Authority has been pushing for the last 30 years. he, for the last 18 years, 19 years of his presidency, has done nothing different.
We'll put a stop right here and continue in a second. For those who are joining us now at the top of the hour, thank you very much for tuning in. We continue our rolling coverage here on 24 News. Day 6 of the war here in Israel. And we will try to focus on the many reasons to shed a happy tear those days. We want to turn now to the Ben Gurion Airport. 24 News Hamda Salhout is standing by there. Hamda, first of all, let's clarify that while there were some barrages of rockets towards the airport in recent days, sirens went off and all, the Ben Gurion Airport is operating.
That's correct. The airport is seen as a critical target to Hamas because of the power that it holds. It's the only international airport in the country, and a lot of people fly in and out of here. I'm just going to show you over here the screen of all of the delayed and canceled flights. Take a look for yourself. There are people here who say they've been stranded for days trying to get out. The United States and other countries alike are now chartering flights to get their citizens out. It was formerly reported that the State Department was looking to speak to these airlines to try and get flights to and from Tel Aviv. However, American Airlines are just not budging, so the United States and countries alike are operating their own flights. I actually have one of those passengers here with me. Her name is Carla. And Carla, thank you so much for being with us. Talk to us a little bit about what you've been experiencing. Your flight was delayed and then canceled.
Yeah, so basically we had flights booked for last Saturday and was cancelled. And then it was meant to be yesterday. We came here again, it was cancelled. When we got here, we were at the bomb scare situation that we had yesterday afternoon. So my daughter's disabled, she's autistic. We had a nightmare of 5 bomb scares yesterday. We had to evacuate here, come back, and then I got in contact with the British Embassy. The whole since Saturday, I ring the British Embassy every day. They just keep saying, no, we don't provide any help yet. We'll let you know. And then you register online. I did the registration online and everything. I explained my daughter's vulnerable. They said, no, we'll prioritize and we'll send some news. No news. I actually heard the news of this rescue flight that's coming tonight through people in the UK. Then I called them and said, I am on the rescue flight tonight. All secrecy, they don't tell you. Just come to the airport, find the people. We came to the airport 6 o'clock. We've been here 5 hours. We queued for all this time. 186 people sent back. The flight didn't come.
Allie, this is just one of many stories of people who've been stranded here for days trying to get flights out of Tel Aviv to go back home. It's really not a situation here at the airport.
Yeah, it affects that as well. 24 News Hamda Salhout. Thank you, but we are seeing some remarkable scenes there because the greater the darkness, the greater the light, right? Hundreds, thousands of Israelis, of Jews who were abroad when the worst of all began, and in a matter of seconds left everything, not looking back, and came back home to fight for the homeland.
אנחנו כרגע ניסע בדרך מביירות ישראל, בדרך אליכם להגיע למלחמה. אוהבים אתכם, עם ישראל חי!
One of them is now speaking with us. Noi, first, we salute you. We salute you. We can see that you are literally already in your uniform. Tell us, where were you when the war broke out? When did you decide that your place is here?
Yeah, I live in New York. I was in my apartment, and it was nighttime for us. I started to receive the notifications, and as you know, each story got worse and worse and worse. And then within a few hours, I knew that I had to come back to Israel, and you know, in the morning, I already had a ticket back.
So you know, most flights got canceled. The situation here is obviously horrendous. How difficult was it actually to get here? How difficult was it to make the decision? Or was there really no dilemma?
Yeah. To get here was hard. Luckily, I have a great co-founder who knew someone at Ella that got me in the flight already full. I opened a WhatsApp group to help other Israelis stuck outside of Israel to get back, and just been helping them. Regarding the decision, it wasn't you know, a hard or tough decision. I knew exactly that when this war broke out, or when these events happened, it was going to be a war. And it took me, you know, not that long to realize that, hey, I gotta be back and go fight and join everyone else.
And this is perhaps the most Israeli thing when you're knee deep in mud, as you were trying to find your way here, you were already helping others to do the same. And when you touch base, Noi, arriving here, probably so many heroes like you were at the airport on this plane. Tell us about those moments of, you know, arriving here.
Yeah, I mean, Ella actually started the flight off with a very emotional message, the most emotional plane ride I've ever been on. And it was a weird flight, not a lot of people were sleeping, and you just felt the togetherness. When I landed in Tel Aviv, it was late on Sunday. I went up north to give my grandpa and my parents a kiss. Then early next morning, I was back on base with my other team members.
So, Noi, we can obviously see that you're already out there. We will not ask you where, of course. So it was immediate that you landed here, got back headed out to the battlefield. Any message to those watching here in Israel and abroad?
Well, to those here in Israel, just know that we're fighting for you, and we're not going to come back until all Israelis are feeling safe and secure. And to those abroad, the donations, the prayers, the shares, they've all been helping us. Keep fighting for us. Keep doing what you're doing on the other side of the world, and we'll see you on the other side.
Noi, again, as we open our conversation, I want to stress once again, we salute you. Stay safe, stay strong. We are with you. Thank you. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for what you're doing. And yeah, we'll speak to you on the other side of it.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, heading to yet another front, the northern front. Pia Sepa of I-24 News correspondent is there with the I-24 News team on the ground. Well, Pia, not just Lebanon, an aerial strike in Syria today. According to Syrian reports, it was Israeli airstrikes. What can you tell us?
Well, Ali, it is a common practice that the Israeli army does not comment on any of such strikes that are attributed to Israel. And for the past months, they have really increased those strikes on targets in Syria that are somewhat said to be connected to Iran and possible weapon deliveries to militias in Syria that might target Israel eventually. Now, the strike on the airport disabled not only Damascus airport, but there was also a strike on Aleppo airport almost at the same time, disabling both of the airport's runways. That comes only a day after the Iranian foreign minister, Hossein Amir-Abdollahian, was supposed to visit Syria. So this might have been an Israeli sign to Iran. But as I said, of course, the Israeli army is not commenting on any of that. But that comes also 2 days after there was mortar shelling coming from Syria, Israel retaliating. So here the northern border is quite uneasy, although no major developments here today. It is a very, very tense calm here today, although there have been rocket sirens triggered 3 times in the area. One of those was a false alarm, as it turns out, which also just adds to the stress level of residents here in the north.
Pia, we can say that the IDF obviously is ready on the border of Lebanon. We're moving to another front now. In case of, but as of now, is there any indication Hezbollah is planning to join?
Well, Nasrallah has, over the course of the past months, really emphasized that he stands on the side of Palestinian militias in an attempt to really draw together the fronts, no matter of Sunni-Shia political disputes. He stands on the sides of the Palestinians, something that he has reiterated now over the course of the last days. But as I said, Eli, the Israeli army really is showing that it is ready here at the northern border.
Yeah.
The mobilization of 360,000 reservists, many of them are stationed here in the north. When we drove up here, we saw lots of army vehicles on the ground, on the roads, also a tank here, and residents are ready too, as it is very tense, calm. But we have spoken to people who say that they did their shopping, that they are ready to stay close to their shelters. You really do see that the streets are empty, although you cannot compare the scene to what happened in the south yet. People here are waiting for that escalation, potential escalation to happen, and they are aware of the fact that even the smallest security incident can trigger the war to also open up here at the northern front.
I-24 News correspondent Bendino Piesteco, well, thank you so very much for this update. Thank you. And back here with us in studio, Raywana Owen Algerman.
Really, just very quickly, at least on our phone apps, an alert about a potential terrorist infiltration in the Khalamish settlement in northern West Bank. No other information.
Speaking of different fronts, right? High alert is not lip service at this point in time. Well, Lieutenant Colonel Hirsch, we were just hearing our Piesteco reporting situation up north, and there is a discussion at the moment here in Israel on whether, instead of waiting, so to speak, Israel should have a preemptive strike to hit first, and not to wait for Hezbollah to decide whether to join in or not. And the risk here is clear.
I don't think we can talk in terms of a preemptive strike when we've already seen Hezbollah attack on multiple occasions, as we just heard before. Yesterday, in the event that we thought had ended without any type of damage, actually ended in the murder of an Israeli officer. And so now we're not really talking in terms of a preemptive strike. We've seen this pattern before. If you remember, in 2006, the war with Hezbollah started just 2 weeks after Hamas terrorists breached the fence, murdered 2 soldiers and kidnapped Gilad Shalit.
Yeah.
And then on the 12th of July 2006, Hezbollah carried on with their attack. We know the pattern is there. We know the involvement of the Iranians and of its proxies, Hezbollah and Hamas. And we know that this is something which is going to develop. The question is how soon it will develop, how soon we can divert our aircraft from their mission in the Gaza Strip for now to the north. And it is something which I think we need to take into account is going to be a developing situation and not for the better.
And in this respect, though, and the American support, not just in words, but in action, when we're talking about the Northern Front, means a whole lot.
Absolutely. I think it's clear to all of us that that's got to be going through Hassan Nasrallah's head and through the heads of the folks in Tehran.
The Americans essentially putting a gun on the table,
Third
right?
aircraft carrier strike group heading to the Eastern Mediterranean. It's unprecedented, I would imagine, and obviously sends a very, very clear message. And of course, Ellie, to those in Israel, it's the physical aircraft carriers, and it's the metaphorical aircraft carriers, going back to what we were talking about before, and the feeling of public support and public understanding. Even if there's also an understanding here that it's bound not to last in its entirety, as the situation develops in Gaza, of course. But the fact that it happened, it's designed to send a clear message to Hezbollah. In that respect, I say this with caution, but other fronts might not be as susceptible to American deterrence. In the West Bank, internally in Israel, we're heading into what Hamas is defined as a day of rage. Tomorrow, calling for protests here in the Holy Land and throughout the world. I know Jews abroad are very concerned about this. The Israeli Foreign Ministry has told Israelis to be wary tomorrow. But one wonders if it's not only abroad, if it's also in our part of the world. Certainly this is a dog that hasn't barked yet, thank God. And we've actually seen this is a real partnership, within the Green Line between Arabs and Jews. But it obviously is a very sensitive situation and bears our concern and our monitoring, even with the welcome American position that has a real impact on very, 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 very important potentially disruptive and damaging fronts in the north and, if you will, further to the east and north.
Yeah.
When you see that, for example, one of the heroes of the massacre on Shabbat was an Israeli Arab who constantly went backwards and forwards, taking people out of the kill zone until he was eventually killed himself. Abdullah Rahman al-Nasra. That's part of that friendship that we've seen and we hope will be developed. Let's not forget also that the Bedouin community also paid a high price with a number of deaths from the Hamas rockets. And we hope that even Israel's Arab community understand that Hamas doesn't care who it kills. They're going to kill Arabs, they're going to kill Jews, they're just out to kill people. And we hope that the Israeli Arab community will not return to the desperate mistake it made in 2021.
Some within the community.
Or some within the community, of course, and really we're not going to revisit that violence again.
Circling back over to a point you've made, and we have been talking about this planned Day of Resistance tomorrow everywhere around the globe. So Jews, Israelis are on the target tomorrow, no other way to put it.
Yeah, it's pretty blunt. The threat is out there, the call is out there, and Hamas is actually putting itself to the test here because this is for them, it must be a huge frustration that this hasn't erupted into something much wider. They seem to have expected it. They called for it in the opening hours of what happened. This is an organization that has this odd combination, Ellie, of strategic thinking, hard-headed strategic thinking, and messianic thinking that coexist in this very uneasy coexistence together. And this is another great example, right? Because you can understand the strategic logic from Hamas's sordid perspective, but also the messianic nature of this. That this is the moment to bring upon the end times, if you will, which is what makes these movements, Hamas and Hezbollah, and even more so the Iranian regime, so very, very dangerous because there's this odd combination of rational calculation, being a rational actor, and something very, very different. And it's hard for me to be able to understand exactly what the proportions are and how they work together.
All of this, I think, is very rational. The Iranians have a specific plan. In the last few months, we've seen developing discussions of normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia, the American involvement, that idea of creating really a wave of peace from the Arabian Sea to Morocco in the west. And that's something which obviously the Iranians want to disrupt, they want to destroy, and their way to do it is to ensure that their proxies, Hamas, get to spill blood.
Try to do it.
Try to do it, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's the rational thinking here. I don't think there's anything irrational. The murders for them are completely rational.
And you know
Jews aren't human for them.
And you know it's because we obviously hear Owen, all of us had great dilemmas during those past days on how to communicate the situation, what adjectives to use, how to describe things, and this is why I decided in the opening of today's broadcast to emphasize that to dismiss them as animals, as monsters, is to dismiss them from responsibility. And no, we're talking about a very logical, intellectual philosophy.
Just think about the way that they planned this attack. It wasn't 1,000 people who
They have guidelines of what to do with female hostages, so there's nothing
spread out. They were very clear in what they did. They behaved worse than animals, because animals don't do this to other animals. That's the reality of that situation.
There's something even deeper here, and it's often been commented about the Palestinian national movement, but also equally true of certain parts of the radical left and the far left, if you will, and certain parts of the Arab and Muslim communities. I want to be very careful because I don't want to stereotype. We're all individuals, but a lack of relating to Palestinians as actors. The Palestinians are acted upon. At least that's how we see it in
Passive,
Israel.
yeah.
There's a sense that Palestinians are victims, they're acted upon. It's Israelis who are the actors, and Palestinians who are the acted upon. And obviously, there's much to criticize in Israeli policy, but Palestinians have volition, they have action, they have agency. Human beings have agency, and human beings have agency for good or for ill. It's such a fundamental point, and it just sometimes gets lost in the way people relate to what happened, to the denial of what happened, to the modus operandi of Holocaust denial that we've seen in respect to our own channel over the last number of days, to the search for relativizing it by, again, conceptualizing the people of Gaza and Palestinians as being only people who have been acted upon, and not people who have volition and agency and control over their actions and judgment.
And no one here lost their minds. This is how their minds were very much found. This is how their minds operated while found.
Yep. We don't know. I be careful to put
I'm talking about the perpetrators, not
still be careful.
This was well planned. They knew exactly where to go. They knew exactly what to do. They carried out their instructions to the T. They killed, murdered, butchered women, children, babies. That was their intention. They took their prizes in the form of human beings to then use and abuse.
gentlemen.
These are not animals. These are rational thinkers with evil on their minds.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you. We're nearing the end of this broadcast, so now it's time for the good type of tears. Israelis, every single one, without exception, recruiting themselves to help from, Flores volunteering to make thousands of commemoration wreaths for the hundreds of funerals, through people opening up their homes to host families from the South, people cooking heartfelt meals to distributing to soldiers, and generally Israelis are given not 100% but 200% of themselves to give others strength and get stronger themselves. Our Emily Francis spent a day with something.
I am right now standing in the Maccabi House. If you could believe, this is normally the professional basketball stadium for the Maccabi Rishon LeZion basketball team, a very good team here. Now that we're in the middle of this war, this has literally turned into an emergency place to collect special items that are going directly to the soldiers in the south of Israel right now, along the border, preparing to do whatever is being prepared to do. You can see here, we have clothes, underwear, supplies, hygienic items, and a very enthusiastic crowd, which we're going to get to in a second. I want to also share here, if you look at some of these boxes, it's been over 2,000 boxes that have been packed with individual notes. Look at this. Individual notes. This is going to our children that are fighting and defending Israel at this time. Shampoo, toothpaste, underwear, basic supplies that human beings need that are going to be fighting this war. And this is the heart and soul again of this country, this group of people that have been here every single day. Even the supply isn't that full because they've given it all away. So now we are joined by a very special man. He's a deputy mayor of Rishon LeZion. Thank you so much for, number one, being so on top of your beloved city and all of these wonderful people who already feel like family, and I've only been here an hour with you. It feels good to be here in spite of the fact that we're here for the worst possible reason.
Yeah, in order to overcome the atrocities we hear from the front, the best way for us and to boost the morale is just bring all these wonderful volunteers to do everything they can in order to help our troops on the Gaza border, unfortunately now even on the northern border, and to help all the families that lost the best friends and all the kids and everything. And don't forget, there are so many missing people. After 6 days, they still don't know where they are. It's unbelievable how they kidnapped babies, elderlies, 19 years old in wheelchairs, and everything, and they just want to have any news from their families.
So these boxes that you guys are preparing, there have been more than 2,000 that are literally being delivered in armored cars directly to the soldiers at the border of Gaza that we know of right now.
Exactly. They take everything directly to the soldiers and to the kibbutzim near the border, which all the homes were burned. They do not have any clothes, any food, nothing. And we give them the first aid to survive the first days.
Also with Rishon, a very tight community as we can see here. This is really a very, I'm loving being here in Rishon LeZion with you all right now. It gives me a lot of comfort to be here with such strong, warm people. And I just want to know, I mean, how are you dealing with the fact that, or what, how many people from Rishon have been killed? 30?
30 was delivered to us this data on Sunday. I'm very sad to say that the number is growing exponentially.
So, how do we deal with this? Explain why this is how Israel deals with this. This is, we have many reviewers in the United States. So, what is your message? Outside, we're going to get to in a moment.
Our message is that we don't have any other country, and that's our secret weapon. We don't have anywhere to go. This is the only country in the world that can safeguard all the Jews. So nobody will drive us away from our country, from our homeland.
Amen. All right, now all of you have something to say. Am Israel, 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 Israel Chai, and now we're leaving you with images from a vigil this evening in Tel Aviv Central Dizengoff Square, where people are gathering to share the grief, to share the pain, paying tribute to over 1,300 Israelis murdered just because they were Israelis. We're all in it together. Paraphrasing Andia, not see the wind, the spirit, but this is what keeps the ship going, not those flags that are flying off mass where they want to see the Israeli spirit worldwide.
Israel is officially in a state of war. This is a very active scene, and we even get in the car as we're talking.
100 soldiers and civilians have been kidnapped.
It just don't know anything.
Entire families, including babies and children and elderly, were butchered in their beds.
Awaken the giant, and we are ready and we are strong.
Everyone is showing up. This is the unity.
those who are joining us now at the top of the hour, thank you very much for tuning in. We continue our rolling coverage here on 24 News. Day 6 of the war here in Israel. And we will try to focus on many reasons to shed a happy tear those days. We want to turn now to the Ben Gurion Airport. 24 News Hamda Salhout is standing by there. Hamda, first of all, let's clarify that while there were some barrages of rockets towards the airport in recent days, sirens went off and all, the Ben Gurion Airport is operating.
That's correct. The airport is seen as a critical target to Hamas because of the power that it holds. It's the only international airport in the country, and a lot of people fly in and out of here. I'm just going to show you over here the screen of all of the delayed and canceled flights. Take a look for yourself. There are people here who say they've been stranded for days trying to get out. The United States and other countries alike are now chartering flights to get their citizens out. It was formerly reported that the State Department was looking to speak to these airlines to try and get flights to and from Tel Aviv. However, American Airlines are just not budging, so the United States and countries alike are operating their own flights. I actually have one of those passengers here with me. Her name is Carla, and Carla, thank you so much for being with us. Talk to us a little bit about what you've been experiencing. Your flight was delayed and then canceled.
Yeah, so basically we had flights booked for last today and was cancelled, and then it was meant to be yesterday. We came here again, it was cancelled. When we got here, we were at the bomb scare situation that we had yesterday afternoon. So my daughter's disabled, she's autistic. We had a nightmare of 5 bomb scares yesterday. We had to evacuate here, come back, and then I got in contact with the British Embassy. The whole, since Saturday, I ring the British Embassy every day. They just keep saying, no, we don't provide any help yet. We'll let you know. And then you register online. I did the registration online and everything. I explained my daughter's vulnerable. They said, no, we'll prioritize and we'll send some news. No news. I actually the news of this flight, rescue flight that's coming tonight through people in the UK. Then I called them and said, I am on the rescue flight tonight. All secrecy, they don't tell you. Just come to the airport, find the people. We came to the airport 6 o'clock. We've been here 5 hours. We queued for all this time. 186 people sent back. The flight didn't come.
Ellie, this is just one of many stories of people who've been stranded here for days trying to get flights out of Tel Aviv to go back home. It's really a nightmare situation here at the airport, Ellie.
Yeah, it affects that as well. 24 News Hamda Salhout there. Thank you, but we are seeing some remarkable scenes there because the greater the darkness, the greater the light, right? Hundreds, thousands of Israelis, of Jews who were abroad when the worst of all began, and in a matter of seconds left everything, not looking back, and came back home to fight for the homeland.
אנחנו כרגע בדרך מביירות ישראל, בדרך אליכם להגיע למלחמה. אוהבים אתכם, עם ישראל חלק!
One of them is now speaking with us. Noi, first, we salute you. We salute you. We can see that you are literally already in your uniform. Tell us where were you when the war broke out? When did you decide that your place is here?
Yeah, I was living in New York. I was in my apartment. It was nighttime for us. I started to receive the notifications, and as you know, each story got worse and worse and worse. And then within a few hours, I knew that I had to come back to Israel, and in the morning, I already had to get back.
So they say flights got canceled situation here. How difficult was it actually to get here? And how difficult was it to make the decision? Or was there really no dilemma?
Yeah. Getting here was hard. Luckily, I have a great co-founder who knew someone at Ella that helped me in the flight already full. I opened a WhatsApp group to help other Israelis stuck outside of Israel to get back, and just been helping them. Regarding the decision, it wasn't a hard, tough decision. I knew exactly that when this war broke out, or when these events happened, it was going to be a war. It took me, not that long to realize that, hey, I gotta be back and go fight, join everyone else.
And this is perhaps the most Israeli thing when you're knee deep in mud, as you were trying to find your way here, you were already helping others to do the same. And when you touch base, like arriving here, probably so many heroes like you were at the airport on this plane. Tell us about those moments of, arriving here.
Yeah, I mean, Ella actually started the flight off with a very emotional message. The most emotional plane ride I've ever been on. And it was a weird flight. Not a lot of people were sleeping, and you just felt the togetherness. When I landed in Tel Aviv, it was late on Sunday. I went up north to give my grandpa and my parents a kiss. Then early next morning, I was back on base with my other team members.
So, we can obviously see that you're already out there. We will not ask you where, of course. So it was immediate that you landed here, going back out headed out to the battlefield. And those watching here in Israel and abroad.
Well, to those here in Israel, just know that we're fighting for you, and we're not going to come back until all Israelis are feeling safe and secure. And to those abroad, the donations, the prayers, the shares, they've all been helping us, keep fighting for us, keep doing what you're doing on the other side of the world, and we'll see you on the other side.
Again, as we opened our conversation, I want to stress once again, we salute you. Stay safe, stay strong. We are with you. Thank you. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for what you're doing. And we'll speak to you on the other side of it.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, heading to yet another front, the northern front. Pia Serpa, the I-24 News correspondent, is there with the I-24 News team on the ground. Well, Pia, not just Lebanon, an aerial strike in Syria today. According to Syrian reports, it was Israeli airstrikes. What can you tell us?
Well, Ali, it is a caucus that the Israeli army does not comment on any of such strikes that are attributed to Israel. And for the past months, they have really increased those strikes on targets in Syria that are somewhat said to be connected to Iran and possible weapon deliveries to militias in Syria that might target Israel eventually. Now, the strike on the airport disabled not only Damascus airport, but there was also a strike on Aleppo airport almost at the same time, disabling both of the airports and runways. That comes only a day after the Iranian foreign minister, Hossein Amir-Abdollahian, was supposed to visit Syria. So this might have been an Israeli sign to Iran. But as I said, of course, the Israeli army is not commenting on any of that. But that comes also 2 days after there was mortar shelling coming from Syria, Israel retaliating. So here the northern border is quite uneasy, although no major developments here today. It is a very, very tense calm here today, although there have been rocket sirens triggered 3 times in the area. One of those was a false alarm, as it turns out, which also just adds to the stress level of residents here in the north.
Yeah, we can say that the IDF obviously is really on the border of Lebanon. We're moving to another front now, in case of, but as of now, is there any indication Hezbollah is planning to join?
Well, Nasrallah has, over the course of the past months, really emphasized that he stands on the side of Palestinian militias in an attempt to really draw together the fronts, no matter of the Sunni-Shia political disputes. He stands on the side of the Palestinians, something that he has reiterated now over the course of the last days. But as I said, Eli, the Israeli army
really is showing that it is ready here at the northern border.
Yeah.
The mobilization of 360,000 reservists, many of them are stationed here in the north. When we drove up here, we saw lots of army vehicles on the ground, on the roads, also a tank here, and residents are ready too, as it is very tense, calm, but we have spoken to people who say that they did their shopping, that they are ready to stay close to their shelters. You really do see that the streets are empty, although you cannot compare the scene to what happened in the south yet. People here are waiting for that escalation, potential escalation to happen, and they are aware of the fact that even the smallest security incident can trigger the war to also open up here at the northern front.
I-24 News correspondent Ben Lenore, thank you so very much for this update. Thank you. And back here with us in studio, very one Alderman.
Really, just very quickly, at least on our phone apps, an alert about a potential terrorist infiltration in the Halamish settlement in northern West Bank. No other information.
Speaking of different fronts, right? High alert is not lip service at this point in time. Well, Lieutenant Colonel here, so we were just hearing our guest reporting situation up north, and there is a discussion at the moment here in Israel on whether, instead of waiting, so to speak, Israel should have a preemptive strike to hit first, and not to wait for Hezbollah to decide whether to join in or not. And the risk here is clear.
I don't think we can talk in terms of a preemptive strike maneuver. We've seen Hezbollah attack on multiple occasions, as we just heard before, yesterday in the event that we thought had ended without any type of damage, actually ended in the murder of an Israeli officer. And so now we're not really talking in terms of preemptive strike. We've seen this pattern before. If you remember in 2006, the war with Hezbollah started just 2 weeks after Hamas terrorists breached the fence, murdered 2 soldiers and kidnapped Gilad Shalit. And then on the 12th of July 2006, Hezbollah carried on with their attack. We know the pattern is there. We know the involvement of the Iranians and of its plot